67 for the ML project. A brief introduction. So, our goal here is to kind of create a machine learning algorithm to detect credit card fraud. Uh, Kind of like looking at traditional methods, we've seen that like traditional methods have like a limitations. It's like how they change based on spending habits and data imbalances. So that's kind of like where we wanted to explore. Some traditional techniques involve using a sliding window technique, which is able to look at the current data of like the user and then adjust based off of new data and kind of replacing it over time. The main issue with this though is that it adapts very slowly to new spending habits. Like for example, if a user like has a weekend of like exorbitant spending and then it goes to be more exorbitant, the first few times will lead to a lot of false positives, which can be kind of annoying or very like or might not like be very nice for like the consumer or the customer. And so a lot of like new solutions kind of utilize like this thing known as the Matthews correlation coefficient, which is a probability and statistics like method of like classifying classifiers based on like how like well they are able to reflect like a user's data and how that can be used to address imbalances. So that's able to like work for imbalances because it's able to adjust over time and pick the classifier, like the type of like spending pattern that a particular consumer has based on like how like they might change over time. And so this is able to learn and adapt from new data. So, kind of look at the data itself. We're going to be using data from European countries from specifically September of 2013. And in this data, the confidential data is like the confidential information is hidden. So, for example, like who the person was, their credit card number, their CVC number is all hidden. However, we were given the principal component, which is what we need to like look at in order to effectively make the data source or make the machine learning algorithm. Our approach is to mainly use scikit-learn and use the random brute force classifier method in order to like kind of classify the different spending habits and also incorporate the MCC method within that in order to kind of like have like a very like robust way of like tracking a potential credit card fraud and then utilizing that in order to effectively have a way to track this. And we can also do data pre-processing and processing using pandas and NumPy. We want to be able to test this results from against hypothetical fraudulent data and specifically like the actual data we have to see if it's able to track the potential fraud. And we can use scikit-learn's built-in method to like track fraud detection as well. So yeah, so at the end, we want to be able to move towards proactive fraud detection and also be able to keep our consumers confident and happy. And so that's kind of the end goal of our project proposal. Thank you.